Hi everyone, it's Eleana here from Lavinia Stamps design team. Thank you for joining me today, and I would like to share with you how I made this card, Olivia and her wish. So we're going to make a beautiful easel card. So if I just turn this round, you'll be able to see that we're going to create 2 backgrounds and 2 lots of stamping just by using this beautiful dandelion collection and using our beautiful Olivia, and this is the small one. So to do the backgrounds, we're going to create a sandwich. So we're going to be using acrylic sprays, chartreuse, emerald green, and then this lovely happy sun yellow. And we're going to spritz onto one piece of card and then put another piece of card on the top, which is going to give us 2 backgrounds. I'm going to use a small circle mask just to do my sun, and then I'm going to use titanium white PanPastel just to make it lighter. For stamping with, we're going to be using Fine Clair Nocturne, Chianti, Warm Breeze, Rainforest and Shady Lane, and that's to do all of our stamping with. I'm going to be using some of these beautiful Bronzeal watercolour pencils just to build up a bit of the ground at the bottom here. Posca Pens, I'm going to be using a white Posca pen, ivy Posca pen and a yellow Posca pen, and that's just to work on the dandelions. A Stardust clear glitter pen just to add some sparkle to her wings. A white gel pen just to do some soft highlights on Olivia. A quickie glue pen, and with that I'm going to be using some of this fabulous fab foil, and I'm using the silver. So for the stamps, we're going to be using Olivia, the small one, open dandelions, the tall dandelion with the leaves. I'm using one of the leaf creepers and one of the leaf spray, and then for the stopper we're going to be using some Sea Weed, others Sea Wish. So let's get started, and I'm just going to give this a bit of a spritzing with some water. I'm going to start off by using this lovely chartreuse green, and we're just going to spritz this just randomly over our background, and then a little bit of this lovely emerald green. So I'm just going to spritz that just randomly around our card, and then this beautiful sun yellow. So we're just going to spritz this now just randomly. I'm going to use a bit of water just to help to get that spray moving around our card, and you can just help by just wiggling it around there. And then we're just going to pop a piece of card straight over the top. I'm going to close my lid, give it a good firm rub, pop it back open, and then we can just give this a tidy up. So I'm just using my cloth and giving this a firm rub down. And then when we pop it open, there we have 2 beautiful backgrounds. So I'm just going to use my heat gun to give both of these backgrounds a quick dry. So I'm just going to get the small Olivia into place. I'm going to use one of the small circle masks. So once I'm happy where I've positioned her, I'm now just going to pop that behind her. I'm going to keep that into place. And I'm just going to use a little bit of VersaFine Clair Warm Breeze. So I'm just going to use my smoothie. And I'm just going to take a little bit off. And we want to just gently just flick some of this out. You don't want it too dark, but just gently. And I'm not going to do the whole of the circle. And then I'm going to use titanium white PanPastel. And I'm just going to use my blending tool, and we're just going to start to add some white to it. So we're just going to give that a quick blend with. There we go. So now we need to add a bit of ground before we do all of our stamping. So I'm going to use these fabulous Bronzeal watercolour pencils. And I'm going to use the dark green. And all we're going to do now is just gently just do a bit of soft colouring down at the bottom here. And just build up the corners. So we're just building up the corners. And then just down at the bottom here. So we're just going to build that up. And then with some water, we're now just going to start to blend this into our background. So with your brush, you can just roll your brush over the nib of your pencil, and you can just make it a little bit darker right at the bottom here. So I'm just rubbing my brush, rolling it over that nib, and as you can see, we're now just starting to create a bit more depth to our card. So I've got our lovely small Olivia into place. And for stamping with, I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Nocturne. So I'm just going to pick that up, ink her up, and then stamp her. And I'm just going to use the dark green, and this is just going to fill in a bit of area just so that she looks like she's on the ground. So I'm just going to use some water, take off the excess, and we're just going to gently, just quickly blend that in. There. And we just need to give this a quick dry from where we added a bit more ground. And now we can start to build up our scene. So I'm just going to have one of the open dandelions just about here. And then we're going to use our second piece of background, and again we just now need to add the 3 dandelions here. And then we're going to use the closed dandelion, so I'm just going to pop them there, and I'm still going to use VersaFine Clair Rainforest. And then we're going to go back to our topper. So I've got a piece of torn copy of paper which has got a slight curve on it, which is perfect just to protect our dandelion with. And then I'm just going to use the tall dandelion, and I'm just going to pop that into place. And for stamping with, I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Shady Lane. There. It doesn't matter about that line, because by the time we've done all our finishing touches, we can just cover that gap up. So now we're going to use the dandelion leaves from the tall dandelion set. And for the stamping with, I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Rainforest. And now I'm using the small one, so we're going to do this in second generation. So stamp, off, and then we can just do some in the background. we're going to use this lovely leaf spray. And for stamping with, I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Warm Breeze. So I'm just going to ink this up. I'm going to stamp off, and then we're just going to place some of these beautiful foliage just gently into the distance. And then we're going to use this beautiful leaf creeper, and for stamping with, I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Chianti. So we've created 2 pieces of work. So this is going to be our main piece, and this is going to go inside our easel card. So we need to work on our dandelions now. So I'm using these fabulous Bronzeal watercolour pencils, and I've already got my yellow and orange out. So I'm going to colour these all in yellow first. With a bit of an orange, we're just going to do down at the base here. And then with some of our water, taking off the excess, we can now just start just to blend all of this in nicely. There we go. And I think we're going to use some of this orange, and we can just gently add a bit into her wings. So I'm going to do some finger stamping. So I've just got my leaf creeper that we've already used. Stamp it onto the Chianti, stamp off, and then we can just do some in the distance. Going to use an ivy Posca pen, and now I'm just going to do some just at the very top of our dandelions. And then a yellow Posca pen. So we're just going to flick some of those lovely little lines in. Going back to the yellow Posca pen, and I'm just going to do a bit of a yellow line and then just use my finger just to tone it down. So I'm just going to use the Stardust glitter pen, and we're just going to add a bit of sparkle to Olivia's fairy wings. A white uniball pen, and all we're going to do now is just add a bit of soft highlighting to Olivia, and I'm just going to smudge that with my finger. So we're going to do a line and then just smudge it. And on her face, just pull that white into her face, her arm, and just pull that down. Let's do her face again. There. And I'm just going to do a bit of squiggles just to finish off her dress. PanPastel titanium white, and I'm just going to pick it up, just using my blending tool, and we're just now going to gently do our dandelions in it. So you just want to go around these lovely tall dandelions just with a PanPastel, just to make them pop. So I'm just going to blend some of that. There. I've got a 5x7 blank card, and I've folded this part in half. So this is going to be our easel part, and then I've cut a piece that's the same size, 5x7, and then this is going to go here to make our easel card. So you just need to glue this bottom part. So I'm just going to quickly apply some glue. Glue this part into place. There. And now we can assemble the card. So we're going to pop that open. That's going to go into our card here. So we're just going to glue this to the inside of our card, and then we're going to glue this to our top one so that when we've got our stopper, it will stay like that. And then we're just going to pop this one into place. So the card will stand up like this. So that's the front, and then it'll pop open this. So now we just need to do a stopper. So now I've done my mats and layers and put it onto several card. You can use foam pads, and now we just need to pop that just into place to stop the card from closing. So I'm just going to pop a bit of glue on. See where we want it to finish. I think we'll have it about there. So we just need to pop that into place. So I'm going to use some fab foil, and this is the silver one. So I'm going to use a quickie glue pen, and all I'm going to do now is just do some random little dots. And then I'm just going to quickly give this a bit of a dry with the heat gun. And then with a piece of the foil, we can just rub it over and just gently take it off. So if I just lift this up and move this around, you'll be able to see all of those lovely foil dots. So if I just keep moving it around, you see that I've done the same to our bottom piece. Some of that beautiful foil dots. So there we have our easel card. Thank you for joining me today. Please take care, and I hopefully will see you all soon. Bye for now. Bye.